I don't know any other religion. I don't know any other traditions but this. When I was growing up, I never really felt different. I never really felt like I was an outsider. You know, when I was real young, before I actually started going to school, I didn't see my scarf as being something, you know, humorous or strange, because my mother wore a scarf and all the other Muslim people, all the other Muslim women I was around wore a scarf. It wasn't until I actually, you know, went into public school that I actually noticed a difference, that I was different.
What inspired you to make this movie?
What got me into just wanting to do film and productions and things like that was I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to perform. I always was singing and dancing and just putting on a show. Any just random. I could just start just busting out in song and dance, and I just loved that. And as I got older, you know, I kind of stopped being delusional and realized that probably was something that probably wasn't going to happen for me, for the simple fact that, one, I'm a black woman. There's not a lot of parts for black women, you know, reasonable, upright, moral parts of black women. Two, I'm a Muslim woman. So the only part that was for Muslim women was Angela Bassett and Malcolm X, and she did it already. That was the only part they probably cast, and that was it. And then I got to thinking, oh wow, you know, I want to, you know, talk about this, being Muslim, being a black woman, and just all the craziness that happens when you happen to be Muslim, black, and a woman. And I just wanted to make a documentary about it. So Nora, how does it feel to be growing up as a young black Muslim woman in this country?
Well, I used to think it was difficult, but now I'm just used to it because being different is not always a bad thing. When I was a child, you know, I really didn't want to be Muslim because kids ask you so many questions, and when you're young, you're very ignorant, and kids ask questions like, oh, are you from Saudi Arabia? And I have to specifically tell them that I'm black. And they don't understand it. They think because you are a different religion that you're not. And they think that it's a nationality. It's not a religion. So I have to really push that to them, that it's my religion. And they always ask, what's this thing on your head? And I have to tell them it's a scarf. And tell them what my God is. And it was difficult, but now I'm just used to it because, you know, you have to tell people what you are. And if they don't understand it, then oh well.
Like when I was getting made fun of, and when people were like, no, you're not black, you know, you're Arab. I had to explain to them and to, you know, try to tell them, no, I'm black. I'm just like you. And like, oh, what happens if you take your scarf off? Are you going to get struck by lightning? Or is God going to curse you? And I'm like, you know, it's just, no, it's not. That's not going to happen. It's my religion. It's about women being modest. And I remember having to say that over and over and over again.
When did you become Muslim?
75.
1975?
1975.
Oh, okay. And who influenced you to become Muslim?
Oh, a brother named Hakeem. He played the drum. I believe he's still alive, but he was into playing the drums. Yeah, he helped. I didn't get. I think maybe after 2 years or so, I met him. I became Muslim because I was going to Queens College, and that's where I took my shahada.
Okay. Like everything in life, Islam is a choice. We interviewed Deborah Kofer and asked her why she became Muslim and why she left Islam.
I became a Muslim in my last year of high school. You know, we were right smack in the era of the Black Panther movement. A lot of Black Power movement things were going on.
During the Civil Rights Movement, many African Americans became Muslim. Thanks to leaders like Malcolm X, many of the converts' children face many challenges in the society. Like any other children born into any religion, it's very hard to stay true to your religious beliefs when you're brought up in a society where your religion is the minority religion and not the majority. I don't know. Probably for me, the biggest struggle is basically just trying to stay true to your religious teaching. It's like when you're not around Muslim people.
Sometimes, like, I'm around my friends and I'm like the only one walking down the street with a scarf, and it's like I feel really weird, but it's not. It's like I believe in my religion, so I have to follow it, right?
But here in America, it's different because it's like, well, you know, it's only Islam, you know, it's not, you don't really have to practice your deen. And it's so much easier not to be a good Muslim here than any place else.
We're not in an Islamic society wherein it's natural for to be Muslim because everybody's doing it, but in this side, everybody's not doing it. And then when you want to fit in, so certain things you know you're not supposed to do, you may do because you want to fit in the society that you're born in.
Well, when you're around other people and you see how other people act, you tend to start acting like them. I catch myself doing that sometimes, but I have to remember where I came from. So I try to maintain my Islam.
Did you face a lot of challenges when you became Muslim?
Yes and no. As a whole, Muslims around that era faced a lot of challenges. But as years progressed, it got easier and easier because a lot of people became Muslim.
I didn't really have any kind of bad experiences as a Muslim, but just as a person in another environment, I did kind of. It was like scary and new and different, but I got used to it, so not really.
I used to go to a Muslim school last year, and me and my friends, we used to just look out the window because there used to be a Catholic school across the street from us. And one time we looked out the window and the kids just started saying very mean stuff to us, like, you Arabs, and sometimes Arabs make certain noises, and they started mimicking that, and it was rude, and they said deodorant, you know, like we need deodorant and stuff. So that was the last thing I can remember. And also, when I was a child, people used to pull my scarf off my head, but, you know, I used to have to fight. But I learned that that's not the way you have to do everything.
When you converted, what kind of response did you get from other people or even your family?
Oh, not favorable. My family was hip hop and mad. Not all of my family, but my father in particular.
A lot of difficulty with my family. They opposed it severely with a passion, and they did everything in their power to stop me from being a Muslim, and they kept telling themselves this is a fad I was going into, and eventually I'll come back to my senses and become Christian again. But it didn't work that way, because I'm still Muslim now.
And how would they fight you? What would they say? What would they do?
They would call it a backward religion. They would call what you wore was rags, and basically say that you was a heathen. They didn't really want to come out directly and tell you that, but indirectly, I guess among themselves, they would be saying that these is a bunch of heathen people.
Growing up in this country, in this society, it is very difficult for anyone to be going outside of the norm. And what the norm is for a lot of people is being Christian and whatever, garments or whatever traditions go with that. So when when it's like, you don't celebrate Christmas, you don't eat ham, and all this, when that is brought to a lot of people, there's just like, oh wow, that's just weird and that's just different. But this is a religion that's been around for thousands of years. So it's like, it's a way of life, it's a practice, it's teachings. It's no different from any other teachings or religion that's out there, It might be a little different to you, but it's not. There are millions upon millions of people who practice this religion around the world.
Well, after 9/11, it's been difficult, and plus that bombing in London. Well, when I walk down the street with my mom, it's like people don't really look at me because they think just because wearing a scarf and a bun is like a trend now, but when I walk down the street with my mom, they give like looks like what is she doing here or something like that. And I get very offended, and I know that it just bothers me because people are so ignorant.
This is a Gelbab. This is like Muslim attire for women. I think this is for women. Yeah, this was for women too, because they have the jalabia, which is for men, and the jalabia, it doesn't look exactly like this. It's a little shorter, and the arms a little shorter, and it's usually not as decorative. You see the detail on these? So it has a feminine touch to it. They come in different colors, but you know the usual colors, black. And this is the Gelbab. This is the jalabia. This is what some Muslim men wear. You know, this is a little one for like a little person, a little boy. And these are just hijabs for your head. I have mine on, but it's wrapped up. And you would get a pen to close it, to cover up. I used to wear it like that. I don't wear it like that anymore. So a lot of people question you about your scarf, your hijab.
Yeah, they did. I mean, people asked questions, but it wasn't those types of questions where like I would feel offended or anything. They just asked me like, was I hot, or like, could I wear it all the time? Why do you wear it? And like simple questions, and I answered it.
Me and my sister, when we were growing up, you know, at a certain age when you get your menstruation, you have to wear everything. You have to wear the scarf down, you have to wear an overgarment. It's a long dress. And when I got my menstruation, I was only about 11, and that's difficult. You don't want to wear something like that. You're still a child. You don't want to dress like that.
And this is the ideal Muslim outfit.
But some people wear it.
In this society now, in this time, maybe at one time it wasn't, women had to cover up. Women, you know, it wasn't okay to wear mini skirts. You know, you had to have skirts up, you know, below your knees. Now it's okay to wear mini skirts. You know, in my religion, that's never going to be okay. It's, you know, you cover up. Like, it doesn't matter what time you're in, what, you know, climate you're in, you be modest and you cover up. And a lot of people can't understand that. Well, women shouldn't have to cover you, especially feminists. Oh, no, women shouldn't have to do that. You know, they have the right to do whatever they want. But there's also a right to be modest and a right to respect your body and respect other people.
I had went to a selfie mosque actually last weekend, and it was really funny because all of them were covered up head to toe, had gloves on. They were taking it to the extreme, and I was just sitting there. I just felt, it was weird to feel so out as an outsider amongst Muslims, because I'm sitting there like, I just would never dress this way. But, you know, this is how they want to express themselves as a Muslim, you know, that's what they want to do, and I can't really nag on them or anything like that.
For me, a lot of people probably would ask me, well, you're Muslim, why don't you wear your scarf this and that way and that and this way down here, or cover your face or whatever? Well, because I did wear my scarf down. And after a while, I guess I decided that that's just not how I want to express myself, wearing it that way. And I wear it that way sometimes, but I just wanted to, it's just the way how I want to express myself.
Wait, how do you feel about the role of women in Islam? Do you feel?
Oh yeah, but they can't follow. They can't teach. They can't preach the kuppah.
Why not?
Because Allah didn't give them that right. Allah said that He gave it to the brothers to do the kuppah, because the mosque was built not for us. It was built for the brothers to go and worship. The brothers they can't miss 3 consecutive Jummahs. But we don't have to ever go to Jummah.
And why is that?
Because Allah said so. And basically probably because we have enough to worry about taking care of the brothers and the children at home.
What philosophies of the Muslim faith eventually led to you leaving?
Well, I think mostly the inequality that is practiced between men and women. Men are the head niggas in charge, and women are to stand behind and are not acknowledged. They're not respected in the way that they need to be respected. They are not honored in the way that they are needed to be honored. You know, a lot of the beliefs, a lot of the activities, a lot of the traditions, a lot of the practices, I just wasn't down with. It just did not embrace my spirit.
It's against our religion for anyone to force us to do anything we don't want to do. And, you know, maybe in Saudi Arabia and maybe other Arab countries, it's forced on the women because that's their culture. And their culture was always the male was dominant, the male was in the head of everything. So they just interpret Islam the way they chose to because of their culture.
Well, I know a girl, she goes to my school, and like, she slowly started like chipping away herself, her Muslim side. Like I remember 2 years ago, she used to wear a scarf to school, or something of a scarf, and then like she stopped wearing that. And I think it's because the influence and the people you're around, it makes you like not know yourself and not know your religion, because no one's there to like be on your back about it, and you're just like free, so you do what you want. And also, if you don't have that type of upbringing in your house where it's like, you know what you have to do, you know, like, you know you're a Muslim, you know you wear a scarf, but you still don't do it. So I guess no one was there to do that for her. And it's like her sisters didn't encourage her. I guess whoever else lives with her didn't encourage her. So her friends just overtook her whole life. And now she doesn't even wear her scarf anymore.
And she doesn't even practice at all.
I don't even think she does. Like, it's hard to recognize that she's a Muslim because, you know, like, she looks like everybody else. So I wear my scarf proudly.
I have an attitude problem. I talk too much. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. I'm rude. I have no boundaries. You know, and these are just the stereotypes as a black woman. And then come to, I'm a Muslim woman. I'm docile. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I just am complete servitude to a man. Have no rights, you know. And it's just like having those on top of those stereotypes on top of each other and having to constantly break them is so exhausting, you know. It's so exhausting, but I do.
The same way you found your religion, you found your path, you found what was easy for you, do you think that young Muslims who were born in religion, should they have the opportunity to find and discover what makes them happy? Because, like, you decide this is what you want for you. And once your children, you know, come of age, what do you think, how do you feel they should go about finding what's good for, we should go about finding what's good for ourselves and what makes us happy?
Doing what Allah says. The first, to obey your parents. First your mother, then your father, but basically your parents. They're not going to tell you anything wrong. And just like any other religious group, you know, and then you see your blessings that way.
So it's just, you know, it's not this idea, I'm not making this movie because I want to just have Muslim propaganda and, like, try to dictate my beliefs to other people and get up there and you should be Muslim and blah, 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 blah. No. I'm just going to express, I'm just here to express myself and, you know, just to educate. And everyone else who's involved in this project wants to do the same thing, just to educate themselves and learn about this whole experience of being an African-American Muslim woman.
All my sisters stands up. All my sisters stands up. All my sisters stands up. All my sisters still rockin' hijab at they job. You a mujahid cause hijab's a jihad. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Just like that. Besides, Jesus' mother didn't dress like that. Believe even women don't want to step like that. I'm not harassed by men with they lust. They don't be sizing me up by my hair, clothes, and my makeup. I'm liberated, educated, making a statement. Your self-hate is blatant. Implants, contacts, weave, now you know you fake. And I ain't forget about the French band. And no, I'm not married, so I'm not wearing this for no man. French